This video is finding you exactly when you need it. I'm feeling this. The only way I can describe the energy is like numb, like, from here, where do I go next? It's only up from here. Or maybe not that everything's so doom and gloom, but you're just feeling empty and ready to being poured into in this new chapter. I'm feeling that you're on the precipice of something new and special, and that can be terrifying. But just know, I understand that energy, and as someone who's gone through that cycle many times, who's on the other side of this, I'm in a new energy, things are opening up, I'm having faith in the path. It will be okay. You're not gonna fall apart in the way that you're thinking, where you can't be put back together again. The falling apart, the things falling off of you, it's like a rocket ship when all of the excess parts that it doesn't need, 11, or not 1111, but 111 as I'm saying this, when all of those pieces fall off of that rocket ship, it is what it needs to survive in the new environment past our atmosphere, right? It's what it needs. It's the weightlessness, the emptiness, maybe, the absence of the things that it contained before that allows it to propel into the new space. And that is you in this new energy. This is going to be a very, very specific message. So again, if this finds you, please lock in. We're going to get started with some symbols to clarify this reading. But again, I'm really, really seeing you as this rocket ship, right? So it's like, it's just a beautiful, beautiful space to be in, to be up above in the clouds. I mean, as a Virgo, you know, I really do resonate with that hermetic energy. So like, trust me when I say, I mean, no one ever like thinks that I'm a Virgo because I can be really bubbly. But when people really get to know me, and I'm sure you can kind of feel it in this calm energy, like, yeah, she can be like that. And one thing that I can tell you, wow, that just kind of flew out. That really needed to be voiced. In this energy of a season that might require you to be alone sometimes, know that you're not alone. You are a part of this universe. It's like in The Secret when they're talking about, if you haven't seen that movie, please watch it. It's free on YouTube. But yeah, in The Secret when they're talking about how your hand may seem solid, and yeah, technically it is, but it also, when you zoom into it on a microscope, it's infinite, the atoms, you know. How can a a piece of wood that's solid, you know, with the right energy, with the right chi, someone who's trained in martial arts can pass through that, or something stronger, a cinder block, you know? And so it's the same with our hand. You think your hand's solid until it's broken, and then your world falls apart, and it's like, why? Why? It's because the brokenness, things being broken apart, even if it's more than a physical change, when the chemical changes, oh, air conditioning confirmation, like the way that just turned on to fan me off because she's starting to cook. You know, if it's more than a physical change, if it's a chemical change, it's all, even though it's complete, its structure is completely different, it's still all of the same ingredients, but it's in a new form that was necessary to carry on the next task, whatever chemical change needed to occur for us to be in the next stage of whatever materials are needed. So I'm gonna get into this reading. There's so many, wow. At first I thought it was going to be all sixes, but I'm seeing in the past energy the Six of Wands. And when we have the Six of Wands, we can look at it as this like triumphant celebration. You riding into town on your, you know, on your horse, in that chariot energy of like, I'm arriving at, you know, the brink of something new. But look at where we're headed. Like, yes, we have wands and fire and manifestation, but when we're headed into the fire with that symbol, that's very strong for me. Because when we achieve something new, I'm really feeling a strong energy of you just did something very great and you don't think that you're going to be able to maintain that. Now, why would that be? when you're heading into this new fire, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe that's what you're going to iron. What is it called when you drop it in the comments if you know more about blacksmithing than I do? I'm sure that, no matter who you are, you probably do. But like, when you're charring your weapon in the fire and it glows orange because you're getting it ready when you're firing your weapon, maybe that's why the fire's in front of you. Maybe it has nothing to do with burning in HE double hockey sticks. It's hard to stay fast. It's hard to say fast. Hey, English. It's really interesting. Just because there's fire doesn't mean that you'll burn. Just because there's a celebration doesn't mean that there aren't hard times ahead. So they're kind of opposite sides of the same coin. When you're stepping into this new energy with faith, it's almost like Fool energy, because it's like you're stepping into something completely new, like congrats on whatever's in that past energy. But now you have new challenges, and that's life, because if you just succeeded and there were no more challenges after that, babe, it'd be done. You'd might as well be dead. And that's why you see people, they get their riches and they're just like, well, what was that all about? Like, what now? And they create new challenges for themselves, challenges that could be avoided. Some good, some bad. Some of the challenges are like, preparing for more growth. And that's what we're wanting to step into in this energy. So with that, I have 7 of Pentacles, and how fitting is that? Because when you're looking down at your crops and seeing, okay, I'm tending to this new thing, you're gonna have to check and use a lot of discernment with what is going on with the new growth. Anyone who's trying to grow out their hair, you have to stimulate the scalp where the new growth is coming in, but you also don't want to lose what's on the ends, because a lot of people, when they think they can't grow their hair, they're forgetting about the oldest, most brittle hair at the ends. You have to nourish that, because if it's growing, it doesn't matter how much it grows, it's not going to get any longer if it's breaking at the ends. You're losing it at the same rate that you're growing it, hon. Babe. People are so worried about balding, and they're so worried about where the manifestation is coming from. It's like digging in the dirt, making sure that your seeds are sprouting when you already have a new plant. What's going on? You have to tend holistically to your garden. That's what I'm hearing. So anything that you're worried about here can be solved in this energy. Just careful discernment. Look at how calm. He's resting on his tool. So know that you have the tools. Use it to rest. You can lean into your work. There will be work and rest simultaneously, I'm hearing. And the rest that comes as, during, and after your work, before, previous, all around. There's rest in the working season. There's rest during the work. You have to take breaks, I'm hearing. And sometimes during those breaks, that's where the discernment is charged, right? So that you can move forward. How will you know what it is that you're moving into? How will you master? If you don't simply allow yourself to use your discernment, to not judge, wonder, fear, but just take in all that's in front of you and smile and allow yourself to desire and be in gratitude for what you do like, and the law of attraction will pick that up, and God will hear you. All that is will hear you, saying this is where their desires lie, and they're focusing on that, and they're already feeling good about that. I was talking about faith in my last message. You have to have faith that God, universe, spirit, source, you have to have faith as a feeling, not as an intellectual thing, but faith that things are coming, that what you've planted is in the ground, and nature is going to take care of the rest. God is going to take care of the rest. Then I have 6 of Swords. And the thing about 6 of Swords to me is that's such a weird energy for me. Swords being like very, very tied to this air energy, moving swiftly with your intuition, with that discernment that I'm talking about. But when we get 6 of Swords, it's kind of like you need to have like an inner outer balance. What's ahead of you and what's inside of you, again, they're one and the same. When I was talking about things being solid, it's not that you're alone. Being solid, being you're still all that is. You're still deeply connected and tied and made up of all the same stuff of the things around you. So it is about intuition when you're on your path. You don't let the intuition be so in your forefront that it blocks you from seeing what's in front of the ship. You can see around it, but it needs to stay present as well. It's really, really, it seems delicate when you think about it intellectually, but the thing is, when you think of it from a state of being, so when you just, it's really not thinking of it as, it's like when you let go of the being a little bit pensive about thinking about it, thinking about the mechanics of it, overly intellectualizing. Hey, now, hit me with the vocab in the comments now. But yeah, when you over intellectualize things, you block your intuition. So don't confuse your intellect with your intuition. I'm gonna want to clarify that one more. I'm really feeling like an energy of a really important journey. That's where the weight and the emptiness is coming from, because when nothing is happening yet, it can feel like, oh, well, like nothing is happening yet. Things right now, it's time to just be. That's really what I'm hearing very strongly. It's time to be. Just be. Oh, that's what they say in the well, actually, I'm not gonna sing songs because I'm not really sure what the copyright stuff is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was way too many cards. Being is, people think that, oh, just being, just be is like some sort of cop out. It actually takes a lot of discipline to, it's obedience to not worry, to not, I mean, think about what happened in the Bible story in the Garden of Eden. The very first sin is looked at as like not just being in the gratitude of this amazing, abundant garden that they were in. And that story really serves to show people wanted control. Over intellectualizing things comes from wanting control. It's beautiful to be smart, it's beautiful to be intelligent, but what's going on really when you can't turn it off and just be? What's really happening when you have all the resources you could possibly want in one place and you're saying, no, what I prefer is that I know everything all the time and that it's always in the forefront of my mind. You're afraid that something will mess up. And I can understand that. Well, a lot is going on here. Let's just get one card, actually, I see sticking out. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? When I'm really hearing that hard. Let's move on. With our Six of Wands energy, this joyous celebration in the past, the layer that I'm getting, motorcycle confirmation, hello, is an upside down. I always say upside down instead of reversed. I do that with clients too. It's like kind of like so silly, goofy. But anyway, I'm getting a reversed Four of Pentacles. That's so interesting because I got that in the last reading too. Being fearful that you're gonna lose the stability that you gained in this joyous coming into. I've had, actually, I can really relate to this. We had like our first like rooftop gig. If you know, you know, I'm a jazz singer. And it was like the main rooftop in our city, and it was such a joyous moment. There was like this huge turnout, but like I had like wavering faith about, oh, well, during the first set before the break, like my vocals, it was like this and this and that, and I wasn't on my technique. When you're worried about stability, you know, with Four of Pentacles being in reverse, what is solid, I'm not feeling that, oh no, you're not stable. I'm not reading this as, oh, you're not stable. You're worried you're not going to be stable. You're worried that any little thing that you can't control, anything that you over intellectualize, whatever mistake is pulling you out of, being just in a energy where you can just be overwhelmed with calm and just be. When you get into that flow state that I got into in the second set of my my jazz show a few nights ago, once I sank into the love of the environment, when I really took in the view, when I went and said hi to all my friends during the break and just sunk into the gratitude that so many people, so many important people from around the city, so many friends to me that are new, that I didn't know that they were gonna come out and spend their time after work like going to a jazz show on a weekday. Once I got into the love of what was going on, I couldn't be nervy anymore. I had to sink into the gratitude of things. And that's what you need to do to reverse this reversed Four of Pentacles. Right now, it's just a fear that you won't be able to maintain the stability, the abundance of earthly things with this joyous arrival that you've stepped into in the past. Don't let this worry carry into the present or into the future energy. Leave it in the past where it is. Okay, hon? Okay. Thank you, Dove. And with our Seven of Pentacles energy in the present, I'm getting the Emperor. So you're doing it. You're going to do it. I have faith. I have so much faith. You're going to have faith in you. I have faith in you. Okay? And when you waver, remember God has faith in you, Spirit has faith in you, I have faith in you, your friend Sim, okay? Because look at this Emperor energy. As you're tending and doing this hard work, what does an Emperor do? And what does an Empress do? As they work hard, they also rest. That is your energy. You don't have to worry about stability. It will not fleet from you. Your kingdom has you. You have you. You are stable. Any of this energy, being worried about being unstable, having, this beautiful Four of Pentacles in reverse, flipped on its head, that's just fear. Because everything else is saying triumph, triumph, triumph. But slow and discerning, like our Seven of Pentacles here. Seriously. If you know what anxiety does? Anxiety and over intellectualizing things makes you speed up. You need to rest. That's really what I'm seeing here. Rest, rest, rest. The Emperor, he rests on his throne. The farmer, also very abundant. What does everyone and their mama want nowadays? They want a homestead. Everybody and their mama want a homestead. Everyone wants to be tending to those plants and reaping in all of that earthly abundance, because that's what God promised us, right? Back to the Garden of Eden, right? Now that it's our job as humans, we got our intellect, that's what we wanted. No matter what theory you believe in that led to humans getting their intellect, we have it now. So no matter what background you come from, now that we're intellectual beings, we have a spiritual battle to experience. And I wouldn't even say battle, because that infers that you're fighting, and when you're fighting you need speed. But what do we just say? We're resting. So it's not a battle, it's a journey. Okay? Joyce Meyer, I read Battle of the Mind, because it's your mind, right? And let's not think of it as a battle, though. Let's think of it as a journey. It's a journey. I mean, she uses warring imagery and symbols and that type of language, because that's what's in the Bible. But imagine if it wasn't a fight. I mean, they say that a lot of the Bible is talking about how awful war is and how God doesn't want us to have to perish in that way. And so if we let God fight the fight, will we be in battle anymore? Will we be so domineering, trying to tell people, what land belongs to who and what land doesn't belong to who? This is all of our land. Look at me, all patriotic. This land is your land. This land is or whatever they said. It's been a long time since elementary. But yes, this is all of our land to tend to, and we can rest assured that we all will have what we need. Everyone, when life feels like a battle, when it feels like you have an opponent, I'm hearing, cut out that battle imagery. It's not a battle, it's a journey. In your journey, there are stones in your path. When you come across a person or you come across a stone that feels like an opponent, it's not an opponent. It's a part of your journey, okay? So it's like an NPC when you're playing Pokemon. This is not an opponent, it's someone who has a few lines that they're gonna say, and you acknowledge the divinity in them, you acknowledge what it is that they're trying to achieve, and you're either gonna help them, or you're either gonna battle with them, or you're not. And when you're playing Pokemon, and I don't know why Pokemon's coming through for me, maybe that's a sign for someone, maybe you grew up on that, or maybe you still play it, or maybe you're just in general trying to rekindle your inner child. But when you are in Pokemon, when you're playing Pokemon, sometimes you can click out of that battle with someone. That's what I'm hearing Spirit wants you to do with people or circumstances that come up and they feel like opponent battle energy, because this isn't a battle or a thing like that. This is a journey. So you only have comrades in your journey. If someone's not feeling like they're going to help you reach your next objective, or you don't feel like you can help them, guess what? You can click past. You can click back past them speech bubbles and get on to the next thing. Sorry, I wanted to hold my bear. Isn't that so childish? But I don't even care. Talking about inner child. Hello. Ooh. Okay, at first I thought I didn't read the third card. So in this future energy, we are not letting our intuition block us, right? With the Six of Swords, we're letting intuition be intuition, and we're letting intellect have its application, but we're not letting it block us from our intuition, right? Because we're going into being, not battling. Being, not battling. So with this Two of Swords energy that we have, that is so funny, because I was literally talking about my gig, my jazz band, and we're called Blue of Swords after Two of Swords. Two, 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 as I was saying that. That is so wild. So Two of Swords is about hard decisions, okay? We have a blindfolded baddie. She has to use what? Her intellect. She cannot use what is in front of her. She cannot use, what did I say? Straight out of the Bible, walk by faith and not by sight. You can't walk by sight if you're blindfolded. Sometimes in this season, you're worried back here about what's coming next. Oh, well, I just came in and had this like Six of Wands chariot moment, and like I'm afraid that things won't be stable. In the future, where we're using our intuition and not letting it, be clouded by intellect, over intellectualizing, you literally are going to be, this is you mastering that in the future energy. You're blindfolded, you literally will be able to make hard decisions using that intuition with the Swords energy, and it's going to be like it's nothing. Guess why? Because you're not going to have a choice. It's going to be muscle memory. And if it's not muscle memory at that point, God, I'm hearing this, God is going to make it so it will be muscle memory. And you will, if you decide to fight battles instead of being, he's literally just going to let you fight the same battle over and over again. That's what I'm hearing. And comment down in the comments if you've been through that before, because the difference that's going to separate past conflicts, past cycles, past journeys from this new one that you're embarking on is the fact that it's the through line actually between past journeys and the ones that you're going through now is the fact that, right before you're about to break into a new cycle in this future energy, right before you cycle back into this joyous arrival, you're gonna have to be making decisions like this. You're gonna have to be able to use your intuition. You're gonna be able to hear from God. And here's the thing. So many people say, oh, I don't hear from God. I don't hear from God. Yes, you do. The God in all of us is our joy. God is love, right? I'm quoting the Bible a lot. That's really interesting. God is love. So whatever it is that you love with all your heart, that is what is going to be intuitive for you. That's when things come naturally. That's when you sink into the second set. Like I was saying with my jazz gig, you see all your friends, you see your supporters that make it possible for you to live on your art or on your music or on whatever your passion is, on your ideas, on your ingenuity, your ability to be an engineer. Your intellect might be your talent, or learning might be where you love, but you intuitively know that it comes from your heart. And until you can sink into that, that is when, and use that, that's when the cycle completes and you're able to arrive at this joyous celebration once again. And I'm filming this message right after I filmed another one that, you know, if you're watching this, it's the day after. But I'm sitting here just like I'm just, messages are flowing out of me back to back because it's the things that I intuitively know to be true and that spirit is placing on me. That's where my love comes from. Singing from my heart, speaking from my heart, right? My name, my I feel like that meme from, it was like the balloon pop or whatever dating show, and the girl's like, my name. My name, and they don't even let her finish because it's so funny. But anyway, my name, you know, my nickname is Sim, but my full name is Simone, and Simone means she who hears from God. It's just the feminine version of Simon. And I was told that, but you know, I never really believed it growing up. I let the, you know, the anxiety and the things get in the way. But when I synced into what I really loved, I loved decoding scriptures. I loved decoding symbols. I didn't let doctrines get in the way of, you know, where I wanted to draw inspiration to be able to inspire others, because I don't want to be the only, I don't take ego in that when I hear, oh, she who hears from God. I'm like, I want everyone to be able to hear what I'm hearing. So this message was meant to find you. You will make it out of this season of darkness and out of fear of you not being able to have a win again. You will win again. It's just a cycle, babe. Okay. All right, doves. It's time for bed. It's time for me to get a shower. Or I guess I have to work out. Or not have to. I get to work out and then have a shower. So that's what I'll do. And yeah. Mwah.